So I want to speak about my testimonial and finding out my purpose in life, which I already knew because the Lord had been telling me, but I just had yet to see it come into fruition. But a few years ago, I was praying to the Lord, and a good place to start if you don't know where to start is the Bible app YouVersion. Start with those plans, and it'll definitely get you started and connected with the Lord if you don't know where to start. But I was praying to the Lord, and he came to me and he said to me, "You have a chance at the top spot." And I didn't know what that meant. And then I said to myself immediately, because the Lord is really fast, he knows what you're going to think before you think it. And before I knew what I was going to think, I thought, wait, if I have a chance at the top spot, that must mean, and it's not to downplay myself in any way, but that just must mean it must be very, very few people who even try, very, very few people who even believe in the Lord or pray at all. And that's exactly when he showed up. When he showed up, he said, his face expression said it all. He didn't have to say a word. God was very angry. God was so very angry, but he made it clear, not necessarily at you, but he was just so very angry because of how very few people actually believed in him. And that's not to say that I'm just not worthy of having a top spot, but that's just to say that out of 7 billion people in the world, the little bit that I was doing, and still in all my sin, and I know that I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was supposed to be doing. Well, I didn't necessarily know completely what I was supposed to be doing. That's why I was reading my Bible, to learn. But the fact of the matter is that I knew that I was supposed to be way better. And I realized to myself, to have a top spot, knowing how much better I could be, that must mean that there's a lot of people who don't even try. And the Lord showed up, and he was very angry about it. He was so angry. And it was God in his throne. And Jesus sat right there at his footstool on the right-hand side. And Jesus wept bitterly. Jesus cried so hard. Jesus was crying so hard. God was so mad. And Jesus was so sad. It's amazing, the difference, in the personalities, but at the same time, knowing what I know now, I know that they are one. That means that God was mad, and he was very mad, and he was very sad. He was both at the same time. But I prayed to the Lord, and I asked him to move me. The Lord moved me out to Houston, Texas, and immediately once I got here, the day that I got here, I prayed on the way over. I prayed on the way to the flight. I prayed on the flight. I prayed getting off the flight. And as soon as I got off the flight, I was everybody who I walked past, just a bunch of people I did not know, they looked at me like I was a target. They looked at me like I had killed their dog. They looked at me like I was the enemy, and I knew that was the enemy, because the only thing I did on my way over here was pray and pray and pray and pray for the best outcome possible. And the Lord said, "You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing." But as soon as I got off the flight, everybody's eyes were like daggers at me, and I had no idea why. I thought it must be something that they know that I don't. So finally, and mind you, before I even left, I had a really bad feeling. It said, this really bad feeling in my gut said, "You sure? Are you sure?" And I just said, I wasn't even sure, but I did it anyways. But anyways, once I got here, early last year, as soon as I got here, I moved here April 2019. And when I got here, immediately, it just seemed like everybody was not saying something to me. Everybody wasn't saying something. They wasn't telling me something. And I knew what it was. But the way that I know things, I wasn't sure that they would understand on that level. And I know that was the devil now. But I wasn't sure that if I told them what I knew spiritually, that they would take me serious. The Lord told me, I'm sending you out to Houston, but I need you to revise the people. I need you to do something for me. I need you to help them. And I said, how can I help them, Lord? I barely can help myself. That's why I'm constantly picking up the Bible every single time. I don't know what I'm doing. Every single time I feel like something's wrong in my spirit. Every single time I feel attacked. Every single time I don't know which way to go. I'm picking up my Bible and looking for direction from you. How can I help them? I can't even help myself at this point. I need your help. You are the only person who can help them, God. And the Lord said, exactly. So that's exactly when I got here, and I just told myself I wanted a fresh start. I wanted to start over fresh. And mind you, before I left my hometown, the enemy said to me in my mind, you have done too much to go forward. And I've heard stories about this. I've heard stories from people where they have gotten a message in their mind saying, you've done too much, you gotta die. And people have died. But the Lord said, don't mind that. The enemy's not gonna touch you. I still linger back on that and wonder who I know that the enemy said it, but what did he mean by that? You've done too much to go forward. I haven't even done much. I'm 23 years old and I could have been a lot worse. So I was just baffled, but I knew it was just a trick of the enemy. It was just him wanting to kill me so that I couldn't get to my purpose. It was him wanting to see me dead so that I couldn't do what I was supposed to do, which was save a multitude of people. And redirect and re-guide a multitude of people. Now, I moved to Houston, Texas, and there's millions here. So if the Lord told me to save millions in Houston, that just must mean it's millions of people misguided, millions of people misled, millions of people going without God's guidance and God's love on a daily basis, on a yearly basis, their whole lives even. It's amazing to me, but the Lord... the Lord has so much faith in me. I have to have faith in myself. But at the same time, I have so much faith in the Lord. I don't understand how nobody else can. I don't understand how you can go that long without him. Anyways, moving forward, I moved here and I was praying every day. Every morning I meditated on the Lord like I did back home, except for it was different this time. Every single time I went to my quiet place with my tea or with my morning coffee or with my morning water or juice, I always have something to drink, and I sit somewhere where it's peaceful, where it's quiet, maybe in the sun, maybe to myself. It doesn't matter where I'm at as long as I have the Lord. And one day he told me to ask for peace, and he gave me peace, and my peace was unmovable. I was protected. My peace protected me. When I got here, I went to my quiet place and I tried to pray. Well, I did pray and I meditated on the Lord, and I saw a spirit. I saw a demonic entity, an evil spirit. I felt its presence, but it couldn't come close to me. But it stayed right where it could stay, like right outside the barrier of my peace that the Lord granted me. And the enemy just stood right there and he growled. And he was so angry, and I knew it was because of me praying to the Lord. I knew it was because what the Lord told me to come out here and do. So one day, when I was just going about my life, I'm thinking to myself, how much different can I be from any other person who picks up their Bible and prays? And I'm sure there's plenty of people who pick up their Bible and prays. How many successful pastors have come out of Houston, Texas? How many churches do they have? How many church-going people do they have? There's so many people here who go to church every Sunday, way more than people in my hometown. It's amazing. Like, you see people carrying a Bible around with them every day, and that's when the Lord told me exactly. They do it just to look like that's what they're doing. But in reality, what their hearts really want is so far from me. Their hearts are so far from me. That's why you're here, to revise them. Because you don't even look like that's what you're doing. But your heart only wants to be close to me. So I would be attacked every single morning while I prayed. No, every single day. It wasn't just when I was reading my Bible. They try to get you when your guard is down. They try to get you when your guard is up. The demon, but it was a very strong demon. I knew because the Lord had protected me and put me in a secret place to the point that every single time I prayed, if there was a demon attacking me, it had no means of making its presence known. This demon was bold. This demon was strong in a way. I don't want to give it that credit, but it was strong in a way to the point where it challenged that. It said, I'm going to make my presence known even though I cannot touch you. I'm angry. I'm so angry that I want you to know I'm right here, ready to attack you as soon as you put your Bible down. And I asked the Lord, I said, Lord, why are you allowing this demon to even get near me? And the Lord said, you don't know what I'm protecting you from. And it's amazing because that started to manifest itself. And so I just prayed harder. And then one day when I picked up my Bible, like I routinely do every morning, to meditate and on the Lord and to grow closer and draw nearer to him, I heard someone say in my mind, it's her. I had known I was being watched for a very long time, and I kept saying that to everybody, but I couldn't prove it. And the Lord kept telling me, yes, it's okay, but don't worry about it, because you know that if anything is going on, as long as you're praying to me, nothing's going to happen to you, and it's all happening according to my plan. It's all happening according to my purpose. So you already know not to worry about anything. And I trusted him. And I kept going forward, even though it irritated me so much to be watched and to feel watched. But the thing is, the demons know your purpose before you do. And they try to keep you from it no matter what it takes. So many people think they're useless. So many people think they're powerless. So many people think they don't matter or are invisible in this world or just a number, and don't even realize that they're being kept from their purpose with just that thought. And that's when the demon showed up. I saw it. The Lord allowed me to see it through my spiritual eye. While I prayed, I closed my eyes and prayed really hard. And I went somewhere else for a second. And I saw the demon right in my face, whispering lies. But all I could do was laugh, because the lies the demon said was so outrageous. The lies that the demon said to me was just so, it's like, who would ever believe this anyway? It's amazing that I love it's amazing how great and how sovereign God is, because he warned me about all of this. He's been preparing me for this exact moment in my entire life, and now here you are. It's just hilarious. It's funny when you think of it, because you think to yourself, I can't believe this. This is unbelievable, but you have to believe it. Forget everything you thought you knew, besides what I told you. So the demon said it's her. I got a new job. I started working, and while I worked, all I could do was pray. Every chance I got, every single time I wasn't on the register, every single time I put down a box that I was supposed to be stocking, every single time I had any amount of free time, I picked up my Bible and I prayed to draw near to God, because it wasn't always because I felt attacked. I did feel attacked the whole time, but it was necessarily because It was mainly because I loved God's peace, and I loved who God was, and I loved how it felt to be near him. And when I was there, people would come in and they would say, it's her. And they will recognize me in the spirit. A few people came in and said, wow, it's her. I can't believe it's her. A few people came in and they're saying this mentally. And I've never experienced this before in my life. And a few other people came in and said, this is her. This can't be her. What are you doing working at a retail store? Who do you think you are? Like, people came in and attacked me on a daily, and people came in and supported me on a daily. It was amazing. It was like it was two sides. And I did not know. I did not know that I was even being expected. I didn't know that I was part of a prophecy that was being fulfilled. I'm going to continue talking on the next broadcast, because I understand I only have 20 seconds left. But the fact of the matter is, tell God what your plans are, and that's the quickest way to make him laugh. It's amazing.